get the feeling that everything in America is completely fucked up? You know that feeling that the whole country is like 1 inch away from saying, that's it, forget it. Let's see,
They
we're
twist
on,
around. Now look, here's a
92
house full of
FM.
bees.
Feels like
You think the
nice
honey badger
cool
cares?
bands
It doesn't give a
on.
shit.
Listen, let's get one thing straight.
Price is right.
Guns don't kill people.
Wow.
Shorty, it's never too much. Keep me doing too much. Tend to one of me, I can handle that love. Bottles in my reach, we can all get buzzed. Holla, cause I'm free to whatever, it's no rush.
So many boys in here, where do I begin?
I think some apologies are in order.
Is that Black Eyed Peas?
No.
Oh.
That's Flo Rida, David Guetta, I think his name is, and Nicki Minaj.
It seemed oddly synchronized to the video. I don't know if that was just in my own head, but
It's the Dark Side of the Moon effect. You know, you start that album when getting a Wizard of Oz and everything just lines up. So that song is one of my son's favorite songs.
Mm-hmm.
And
That would hold up because your son is 6.
Okay. Exactly. He's 7, but still. He will play it all the time. And at first, I would always look kind of like, this song again. And it's gotten to the point now where I'm like, we're on our way to jujitsu and it's like time for the pump up music. And he plays that song and I'm just like, fuck yeah, let's go. Like just bumping down Pioneer Avenue. I love it.
Do you?
I do. Yeah.
You've come to love it.
I've come to love it.
Yeah.
I have.
Kind of that Guantanamo Bay phenomenon where you've heard it so many times. It's all right, I give up. It's great.
Yes. So I wanted to do something today. The gubernatorial election in California is in full swing.
Oh, I got to share something with you real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because you're going to love this. I ran into a mutual friend of ours. And I was like, hey, man, like, what you been up to? He goes, oh, just so crazy with baseball. I'm the sports director, you know, this and that. And my kids, you know, there's like 4 games a week. And this rain is like killing us because we got to like move the tarps and, you know, we'll move. It takes an hour and a half. We move the tarps. It rains. We realize it was all for nothing, you know.
Yep.
Like, so yeah, just kind of busy doing that. He goes, I got to leave here and go straight. And he goes, oh, hang on, I got to take this call real quick. Takes the call. He goes, yeah, I'll be there at 3. If you want to get started with the tarps, yeah, go around. There's a back gate if you want to pull all the way in and get started. He goes, it's Joe Montana. He's like, all right, I'll see you there. And I went like, did you say Joe Montana and Joe Montana? He goes, yeah, I just remember all my gate codes like by different football numbers. I was like, dude, am I living in a simulation? Because that's what we do.
Yes, you are. I know. That's the best way to remember. Yes, it's the only way, really. And it has to be football because I don't know the numbers of any other sport.
Yeah. And I don't watch football, and I still remember all the old numbers. Like if you say like it's Lawrence Taylor, Roger Craig, I'm like, got it, thanks.
Got it.
And I won't remember the numbers, but I'll remember that.
Yeah, it's a good little trick.
Yes.
It's funny you brought up the simulation thing. I was just talking to Jake. We happened to run into each other at the coffee shop, and I've been listening to this book about reality. And the theme of the book is kind of like reality is subjective, and every person has their own version of reality. Like
That's absolutely true.
you literally do. You know, the way that you see the world is based on your interpretation of it. You can't. One example, your eyeballs are the way that you sense light in the world, and the spectrum of light that you can actually see is this tiny little band on the overall electromagnetic spectrum, right?
RF.
Thank you. So you you are interpreting what you think the world is, but you're missing so much of it.
Yeah.
And this book made this comment. It's like everyone's reality is a hologram, their own personal hologram of what reality actually is.
So you stop going to work.
Did you listen to that podcast that I sent you about not paying your taxes?
No, I haven't yet.
Holy shit, dude. It's dangerous because you will finish that podcast going like, maybe I won't pay my taxes.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. It's on my queue to listen to today.
Because, Eli's been telling us this forever, right? But he's the only person that I've ever heard say that you don't have to pay your taxes.
Wesley Snipes.
And Willie Nelson. Well, those guys made a mistake, though.
Yeah.
The mistake that they made was filing a 1040 form and telling the government that they didn't owe anything and then signing the form
Gotcha.
under oath saying this is all accurate and correct and I don't owe you anything.
Interesting.
But if you do not sign the 1040 form, which this guy, Payman something or other he's Iranian, but he's an American citizen and a fucking patriot.
Yeah.
He calls the 1040 form a confession form. So every time you sign a 1040, you're signing a confession telling the government, I owe you this much money based on these things.
He's not one of those like sovereign citizen guys, is he? Because that shit never goes well.
I don't know.
Right.
He hasn't said that in one podcast that I listened to with him. You're listening to it going, well, there are people in prison for not paying their taxes.
Right.
But his response is like, well, those people signed a confession form.
Interesting.
And then went to prison because they didn't live up to what they wrote down.
Crack the code.
Big time. This guy hasn't paid his taxes in 20 years. This other dude that was on Marjorie Taylor Greene's podcast recently.
Yeah.
Same thing. He used to work for the IRS. He was a person that would go get the bad guys, basically, like an inspector or whatever they call it. He hasn't paid his taxes in 20 years.
Really?
Yeah. He hasn't paid, I shouldn't say his taxes, because according to the law, he does not owe taxes. None of us owe taxes.
Surprised this guy's still alive.
The reason, according to these two dudes, is that because if they were, they could be killed. Yes, obviously. That is one option. But they can't go to trial. If the FBI put these guys on trial, it would expose the law that clearly states that unless you live in the District of Columbia, you are not required to pay federal income tax.
Interesting.
It's very interesting. Listen to it with caution because you will be very tempted to not pay any taxes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You are the one guy who understood my little joke about the inventor of Heelys dying yesterday. All the other responses I got were along the lines of like, yeah, another coincidence, right? Or they're like, I'm not getting into these conspiracy theories. I'm like, dude, fucking lighten up a little bit.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's the Atlas Shrugged.
Is that along the lines of those nuclear physicists all getting killed lately? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because they're talking about all these scientists that have disappeared or died. And then, like, the inventor of Heelys.
Coincidence?
Yeah, and I piled it on there. I'm like, now we're up to 12. And you're the only one got that, like, a solid joke. Everyone else is like, all right, fucking Alex Jones, take it easy.
Dude, have you guys read Atlas Shrugged? This is the build-up to the first part of Atlas Shrugged. All these really important moguls of industry and scientists disappear. Who is John Galt?
Yeah.
Right?
Very good.
Could be dealing with something along those lines.
So since it was pissing down rain yesterday, and I got home, and my son's like, I want to watch a show. I was like, okay, setting some rules here. It's got to be something I want to watch.
Right.
And we're watching the show. We're not skipping through it. We're not
reminding that
you and I are going to sit here and watch a show.
Yes.
And he picked a movie called Thrash. You guys familiar?
Feel like obviously is that an 80s?
No, it's just came out.
Oh, it's a shark thing.
Yes. So we have a Katrina-like hurricane situation, I think in Louisiana.
Okay.
And the levees break, and the towns flood, and bull sharks come in not only to the town, but into people's houses while they're hiding on their countertops.
Nice.
And start eating them. Now, thankfully, one of the main characters and this other woman who's just about to give birth through the entire movie, she, having contractions, and their water breaks, which puts the scent
in the water.
Blood in the water. So now the sharks are jumping up on the countertops to get her while she's giving birth. Her uncle happens to be a marine biologist who happens to be working in the area, whose specialty is bull sharks.
Good.
And they're saying, like, we're also tracking Nellie, this gigantic great white shark. He goes, our only hope is that Nellie comes in, and because they're territorial, will scare the bull sharks out.
Right.
So one of the pregnant women jumps in the water because they're trying to go for this rowboat. And she gives birth in the water, puts the baby up on a plank as a bull shark's heading towards her. And she found a sharpened stake in the water, killed the bull shark.
Nice.
And then right as the uncle comes to pick them both out, because I also knocked over the rowboat, so now they're both in the water. And he comes and grabs them, but the girls aren't going to make it in time. He's just seeing it, and like right as about another bull shark goes to get him, the great Nellie,
Hell yeah,
breaches out of the water, grabs the whole shark, and just keeps on swimming.
Goosebumps.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And it was one of those kind of moments, much like when I saw Mannequin, I was like, if they don't make a sequel to this, like they're leaving money on the
Seriously.
table.
Dude, you're so stoked if you're an investor in that movie, in that franchise.
Yes.
Printing money. Nice.
Yeah, great character development.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, the second one, not so much. Character development was lacking.
I toured with a guy who told me that Major League 2 was better than the original Major League.
I was referencing that joke.
Had better character development. I'm like, neither one has character development.
Here's a theory for you. All of us, we are living in a simulation.
Mm-hmm.
But the simulation is only designed for you. Everyone else is part of the simulation.
Mm-hmm.
You are the only real person in the simulation.
That's classic, like sociopath thought process, right?
Doesn't mean that you're more important. It just means that you still have to follow all the rules.
Are you ramping up to why Swalwell should still be in the race?
We're not going to get to Swalwell today, unfortunately. Okay, you want to go over this video?
Hey, I wanted to ask you, so you said you got your primary ballot?
Oh, I meant to bring that.
Oh.
No, not the ballot, just the voter guide.
Oh, okay. Because I just was listening to a podcast on Swalwell. He's saying he will be on the primary ballot. There's some kind of legal thing that they can't take him off. So I'm not sure if it's true.
Did you get your mail recently?
I don't check my mail.
Is it in a pile somewhere? We should look.
Yeah, probably in the mailbox.
Interesting. Maybe Jake could look that up. And there's his screen.
There you go.
Sorry. Okay, so let's go over this. What I found was a video that was made back around the time that Katie Porter was in the news for being just a totally rude cunt to the person interviewing her.
Yeah.
This time around, I'm watching it, and I noticed that the interviewer from ABC News, whatever, we'll see her name in a minute, was wearing a cross, like loud and proud, a cross. And I thought, oh, that's kind of out of the ordinary for someone in the media, like mainstream media, ABC News, right? And then I thought maybe that was kind of the trigger for Katie Porter, who's obviously a demonic Satan worshiper.
And this is before Trump got in a Twitter battle with the Pope, and now all the media is just completely offended on the behalf of Catholicism and Christianity. They're all of a sudden big-time religious zealots in the media.
And that's what Trump's strategy is, because he's playing 5D chess.
I think six at this
6D
point.
chess.
6D
He's
chess.
getting people on board with Catholicism.
Right.
Yeah. Not Judaism.
No.
Definitely not. All right. So let's see here. Can you go full screen for me, Jake, so I can just see what I'm doing? Thanks. Okay, so this video came out back then, but it's it's kind of recirculating now. This section here is that woman, the interviewer, asking all of the 10 major candidates about high-speed rail in California. And it's a pretty interesting, like, good little snippet of what these people think. So I thought it'd be kind of fun just to go through each of their responses. So here we go.
High-speed rail. High-speed rail.
We have spent more than $14 billion.
$14 billion on high-speed rail. Do you continue? Do you continue building or do you call it quits? Why do you think we haven't been able to do it thus far? How much more money are you willing to spend? Do you think now you can get it done during your term as governor? Do you walk away? Or?
Look,
This is Hilton.
Can you finish it?
Total joke. No,
Steve
we
Hilton.
should not be throwing good money after bad. This is a joke.
Where's he from exactly?
Not America,
Okay.
right? I know. This is the first time I heard him speak, and I was like, whoa, we have a British dude running for governor?
Fuck it. Roll the dice.
I don't have a problem with it, really. If he's got good ideas. Like,
Doesn't matter to me.
I like how he's starting off here. Okay, this guy's a Republican candidate. I think he's in the lead in terms of Republicans.
He was the one Trump endorsed too, I think.
Oh, really?
Because the two Republicans are him and Sheriff Bianco.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they're making a big deal because Trump endorsed Hilton, I believe.
Yeah.
And then there's this talk of like, is that going to help him or hinder him moving forward?
Right.
Yeah.
Does it matter in California?
Well, it does because, well, not just California, but everywhere. It's like we have people running for city council saying they're going to fight Trump. And you're like, you're supposed to look at the school budget. Like, that's why we're hiring you. So everything's Trump all the time, whether it goes both ways, whether good or bad. So that's what, like, Katie Porter, like a lot of what she says, she's going to be the person that pushes back to Trump and all this, the anti-MAGA candidate.
Yeah, but I think for all the Democrats, like, it doesn't matter if Trump, for all the Republican candidates, in the eyes of the Democrats, it doesn't matter if Trump endorses them or not because they're never going to vote for him. Yeah. But there's a lot of Republicans in California, more Republicans than any other state. Yeah. And most of them are not happy with Trump right now either. So that is probably a good point. So anyways, I like how he starts out here. He says, we can't be throwing good money after bad.
They promised that this would be a way of getting from San Francisco to LA in 2 hours or so, and it'll be open by now. None of that's ever going to be delivered. Right now, it's been the most expensive piece of railway construction in the history of the world. And all they've done is put things in the flattest and simplest part of the proposed route, which is the Central Valley. Imagine what it's going to be when they try and go through the mountains to LA. I think they've even given up on that idea. And they're now talking about maybe by 2040, you can get from Merced to Palmdale. I don't even know what. It changes all the time. They're in a complete mess and a muddle. They don't know what they're doing. They have no plan to deliver on the first idea that they put forward and which they sold to the voters of California. And by the way, even if that was delivered, that again, coming back to these false promises and ideology, it was all pitched on the basis of climate. It's going to get people out of cars into trains. We're going to save carbon emissions. They had a big number for how many car journeys it would stop and it would prevent from taking place. When you actually look at that number, it's not like 130 billion car journeys. Sounds like a big number. When you actually compare it to the number of car journeys, it's like 0.01%. Even on its own terms, it wasn't going to deliver what they said. It's a total joke. We shouldn't put good money after bad. I spent a lot of time in the Central Valley, however, because I don't believe in waste. What can we do with what has been built? And so I'm talking to local leaders there about what we can do. For example, I think there's a lot of interest in maybe an additional Amtrak line just for the Central Valley. There's hopefully things we can do to make sure the money that has already been spent isn't wasted, but I certainly wouldn't put any new money into it.
High-speed rail.
I like a lot.
I like it too. I don't like what he said right at the end there, though, that like, well, we have this, track down. We can't just waste it.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of the sunken cost fallacy. It's
Yes.
like we have put the money out, so we do have to do something with it. I would say no.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking sell it for scrap at this point.
Yeah.
Absolutely no more money, not one dime. That would be if I was running for governor, that's what I would say. No, we're going to fucking melt it down and
Don't even scrap it. That would cost money. Just leave it.
just let the homeless people take it away. Just let them scrap
Throw
it.
some
there any
grass
way
seed
to-
on top. We're moving on.
Claw back any of the money from the people that were involved at all?
Probably, right? Like just through lawsuits.
That's another point that when that was put on when they first allocated that money, the condition of having the money is that X amount was supposed to be from private investment. Mm-hmm. That was the condition of that passing, like on the ballot.
What?
That X amount of this, in the very beginning, the X amount of this project, the high-speed railway project,
had to come from private
investment.
Yeah.
They didn't get $1 of private investment. And they just, well, if we just start building like...
Yeah, what are they going to do, stop us?
Yes.
Fucking slaves. Get back to work. All right, here's Chad Bianco.
Do you support finishing it?
Absolutely not. It's the biggest waste of money I have ever seen in my entire life, and so much so that they're trying to not bribe people. They're trying to psychologically influence people to believe that it's somehow good, and now they can make it better. It's impossible to go from San Francisco to Los Angeles, so let's take a third of that track, and we'll really push for that no one's going to ride. I mean, there is no one wanting to go between Modesto and Bakersfield and pay $300 when they can drive it for $60, and it's barely less than or barely more than half the time.
Just throw that money away.
You have to. You
Yes.
have to. You can't.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm voting for him too.
Yes.
I like this. I like both these guys. I got a dream team right now.
If it's your own budget and you keep breaking your bank, your monthly bills over something that's never ever going to happen other than keep draining your bank, do you just keep doing it because you say, I think it's a great idea? Or do you say, holy crap, this is absolutely ridiculous. Stop. Common sense tells us we need to stop. You claim that we don't have money while you're dumping money into something that will benefit no one. There's not a benefit for the $100 billion. And I saw the other day that if they truly wanted to do the San Francisco to Los Angeles, it's over $1 trillion. Over $1 trillion. That is,
God.
and
So that's a hard no for you.
it is a very hard no.
Do you support continuing or do you pull the plug?
Tom
I
Steyer.
am a huge fan of high-speed rail, theoretically. But we can see that the way that we're building it is a perfect example of what I'm saying. We're process-driven, not results-driven. The results haven't worked out. But absolutely, should we have high-speed rail in this state? It's fantastic in multiple ways. But we're going to have to do a reset. We're going to have to understand how to actually, it's like housing.
Oh, my God. Can we talk about those shoes?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
He's doing the billionaire thing, like the tech billionaire. Like,
those Heelys?
I'm hip. I'm with hold a second. Wait, hold on. Rewind that.
Why don't they just hire some Asians, man? That whole Japan's high-speed rail from top to bottom, and everybody uses it. Like, there's
Yeah.
just come on.
Japan, though, is much denser than California.
If you're gonna, okay, well now you're going back to should we even have it, right?
Correct.
But
Shouldn't.
this guy has said something interesting. We're process driven, not results driven, and I could see lingo like that taken off in a anti-bureaucratic tone, right? Because how much of what we do, from solving homelessness to whatever else is wrong with this state, seems to be process driven and not results driven. We got results for nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
100%. I agree. The problem is that people like him think that government is the solution to all of our problems. And so they're never going to take the stance of what Chad Bianco was saying, like, just stop, just take the money out. He's like, no, the problem is that we haven't done it right. If you put me into office, I will do it right. And then, because I'm a billionaire, I've had success. Therefore, you can trust me that when I start doing the high-speed rail, I'm going to bring in the Asians from Japan, and we're going to do it right. Ignoring the fact that nobody wants high-speed rail. It can't work because we don't have the density.
Yeah.
And it's just it's an idea that is like these pretty pictures in people's brains, but it actually doesn't serve anybody's needs.
Yeah, I mean, there's also the fact that these are all politicians trying to get into the seat, and the 100% track record of every politician is that they lie, and nothing ever happens, right? It's process driven. So, anyways, it's all bullshit, anyways.
So you watch YouTube fairly regularly, right?
Heard of it.
Okay, and so on YouTube you get commercials. Usually the commercial pops up, and within 5 seconds, you can skip it, right?
Yep. Now you get a little thing in the bottom that you got to close out.
when the politicians put commercials on YouTube,
Oh, you can't.
you can't skip them.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
And so when you think about it, like, well, why is that? Well, it's obviously more expensive to have a commercial that is 30 seconds long that you can't skip. You pay less for a commercial that people can skip. Because 99% of people are going to skip that commercial, right? So you're only getting like a 5-second chunk of a commercial. But you get politicians on there, they have all the money in the world to spend on these fucking ads.
Yeah.
It's sick. It's all this money. Like, the other industries that actually have to sell things in order to make a profit, they can't afford to have a 30-second long commercial. But the fucking politicians can. And it's not just that this guy is a billionaire and he's spending his own money, because the commercials that are anti-Tom Steyer, I had to take a picture of one that popped up the other day. They're 30 seconds long also. And they're sponsored by Californians for Resilient and Affordable Energy. So like an NGO.
Yeah.
No on Steyer for Governor 2025, supported by the California electric utility industry, labor management.
Bunch of unions?
Cooperation. Yep, unions. Fucking PG&E. PG&E, which is basically the government, because we have to use their services.
Yes.
And they're regulated by the government. We have no other choice but to use PG&E. PG&E is charging us money for our electric service and then using that money to pay for a 30-second long YouTube ad.
Right. A couple things.
Fucking maddening.
I think this month PG&E just is now allowed. They're tacking on an extra $24 monthly stipend to everyone's bill, whether you use electricity or not. Just like an extra $24 that doesn't get voted on or anything like that. Now, Jakey also brought up the unions. They're talking about how like Swalwell, like all of a sudden, like he was preordained to be governor, which is like, it makes me so happy. He had months fantasizing like I'm just about there. And that was career's gone.
Yeah.
He can't practice law anymore. He's going to prison. It's gonna be awesome. But a big reason that was is all the unions picked him, the SEIU and the CTA and all of that. It's like it's whoever because we have such a corrupt like system of unions here. It's all just kind of pay to play and money like going back and forth. So whoever the unions pick to be governor, that is who's going to be the governor. They're saying that's how Arnold Schwarzenegger ended up as governor.
And where do unions get their money? They get it from us.
From us.
Because we are forced to use the unions to do work for the government.
Yes. See how it works.
And they have so much money that they can afford to just blow it on these fucking campaign ads. I probably should make this call. Can we take just a second? All right, so Tom Steyer, it's kind of like patronizing the way he dresses. You know, it's like, look at me, I'm hip, I'm with it. See, I'm wearing a suit and tie, but I got tennis shoes on, man. Look at me. Like, I'm one of you guys.
No jacket required.
Like, we need housing. We're not building housing. We've got to do a reset and understand what do we have to change to get this done in a good way. And
we need housing. We have to build housing. Yeah, I have a really good idea of how to make housing affordable. Stop fucking with it.
Yes.
This is a critical, and so this is a perfect example of we're throwing money at it. We have a process to do it, but we're not getting results, and we're not changing, and we're gonna have to change.
High-speed rail. We've already spent more than 14.
You like to wake up to that every morning.
Katie Porter.
Face like a clenched fist.
Dude, she will never be governor because she's too repulsive.
Yeah.
Maybe that shouldn't matter, but
I wouldn't make fun of how people look, but she happens to be a fucking bitch on top of that.
Totally.
So you're fair game, lady.
Dude, she makes Hillary Clinton look attractive, right? Like if you had to choose which one to sleep with, like you had to sleep with one of them.
Why?
If you were forced to, gun to your head, it would be a no-brainer. You would choose Hillary Rodham Clinton over Katie Porter.
It's a thought exercise. I'm not participating.
Okay, dude. If you're listening to this on audio, you're gonna miss the best body language ever that's about to happen in this video.
Oh, I've seen it. This is so good.
This cunt. God, she just cannot help but be an absolute cunt all the time. Yeah. It's the only way she can operate.
I'm always like, I love people like this because she's the kind of person. It's all like cunt is like on a fucking simmer 24/7, and then once well just like pops out, right? Like one of the fucking valves in her face.
million. Do you continue or do you cut bait?
I believe it's more than 14 million. Do you want to check your numbers?
Excuse me, 14 billion. Thanks very much. I appreciate that. We've spent more than $14 billion on high-speed rail. Do you continue? Do you cut bait?
Well, so the question here is, can we get this done? That's what the governor's going to have to answer that question, and going to have to look at all the evidence and try to understand.
And as governor, do you think we can?
Well, I don't have all the evidence yet. So what are the slowdowns? What are the causes of it? Are they in the rearview mirror, or are they going to keep happening? So we know there were challenges with permitting. I think I'm told most of those things are in the rearview mirror, but then we have the forward-going challenges on the cost of operation, on the cost of continued construction. Let's be clear, Californians haven't changed their mind. They want this rail. They would like the rail.
No one
that
wants
they were
this.
Yeah.
Overwhelmingly, the polls, people want this stopped.
Right.
And here's my bias. I want to see where you guys land on this. Is the bullet train no one thinks it was ever going to be completed. No one thinks it's going to work. Everyone knows that nobody wants it. Everyone knows that it's going to be 10 times the number that they promised. Everyone knows there was never going to be private investment. The bullet train is not a thing. It's never going to be done, right?
That's your bias.
Well, no. What the bias is that that's the point of it. The spending is the point. Everyone knows that this is not a real project. And so everyone who's saying they support it, they're like, no, we're not letting this grift end. Like the unions are in on it. We're in on it. Everyone's making money. We're going to keep it going. And the people speaking out against it are saying like, this is like the most corrupt thing in the world. And I'm going to just go ahead and say it out loud.
You know, take it easy there, Nick Shirley.
It's just like the homeless industrial complex. It's like we spent more and more money every year. It's like, look, just lay out the math. It's like, well, that's the point. The spending is the point. We created an entire industry to not solve a problem.
I think we need a bill passed so that it's illegal to look into the corruption in these kinds of things.
Originally voted for and supported San Francisco to Los Angeles. So what their frustration is that it's not actually built, right? And it's taking longer than they wanted it to, than they promised it would. I think there's a lesson for any future governor about any kind of infrastructure you're going to undertake. Make sure that you have a realistic, fully funded plan before you embark on the project. And so I think the question to be asked is, can we get the remaining funding, and where is that going to come from? Donald Trump egging away our federal funding?
Donald Trump, it's Trump, fucking Trump.
Not helping.
And so your answer is you don't know yet. You don't have enough information yet.
That's right. But I think there are very hard questions that need to be asked and answered. And we need to figure out where the delays come from. Are they things that are going to occur again? Mm-hmm. So if we have delays because
she's pretty good at the say a lot of shit without saying anything thing that politicians
got that
do.
Newsom thing going.
Yes, yeah, right out of the Newsom school of public speaking.
And also, some people have said that the reason why her forehead is so big is it brings in radio waves from reptile overlords, and like so she knows what to say. That's why she can just keep talking and talking. They're like speaking through her like a vessel.
That does make sense.
If you will. So
it tracks.
Could be a conspiracy theory, but
I'd go with it.
First, that has not been the problem. But that is the kind of delay that could keep occurring. If we have delays because it took a long time to permit and now we have those permits, seems like we can pick up the pace and get this rail done.
Look, I think high-speed rail represents everything that has gone wrong in California. Too slow, too expensive, too idealistic.
Mahan.
You have an operating segment
Democrat.
that we ought to finish and run and learn from. We can't extend beyond that without having a fundamentally different way of building infrastructure.
So this guy reminds me, I've seen some of his ads. He reminds me of like an old school Democrat.
Yeah.
Not really into the whole corruption racket that California has become. Still has all the wrong ideas.
Yeah.
But at least he's honest about it.
Costs too much per mile. It takes too long.
Which is why I've never heard of
everything in California. It isn't just high-speed rail. It's all infrastructure. It's water storage. It's housing. It's roads and bridges. We have to
always housing. Why has housing become like synonymous with the government?
Yeah.
Like the roads, I get it. Like people think that government is the only entity that can create roads.
The system.
Yes, we've been programmed to think that. Now housing the blob has just expanded, and now housing is obviously can only be provided for by the government.
I remember talking about when they were going to start the high-speed rail. I was like, this is such a grift. This is ridiculous. It's like you could see before they even started, this was 10 years ago, something like that. And I was talking to a friend, and he goes, I don't know. I think it'd be a good idea, to connect these different communities, through high-speed rail. And I just remember thinking, even back then, I'm like, your God is the system. You're like, well, anything they do is going to be a good thing, and the more they do, even the better. And the more money we give them, even the better. I'm like, it's like a mental, it's like a religious exercise they go through in their head.
It doesn't matter what it costs to do it. It doesn't matter how much of our resources it takes. Like, it's a good idea. It's like, if you had a vote, Californians, do you support having flying cars? People are like, yeah, fuck yeah, I love that. And but you don't know what it's going to take to actually do that. It doesn't matter. Government's doing it. That means it's free, basically.
Yeah.
Think our environmental processes, the building code, the layer upon layer of regulation and process we've added. It can't take 20 years to get through all the litigation and all the environmental clearance and secure the land to just get started on a project.
So do you continue though?
That could mean two things. That could mean roll back all the regulation, make it much easier for people to build things like housing, or it could mean eminent domain. Just let's fucking go take all their land and we're just laying the track through their backyards.
Yeah.
I think you finished the segment you're on because we're committed to it. It's half built. We've got a path with the cap and trade dollars to finish that segment. I think you got to finish that segment and deliver it because it doesn't do anybody any good to put billions into something that sits there not operating. But I wouldn't commit to the next segment without fundamental reform of how we build infrastructure in this state because it isn't sustainable.
Do you continue the project? Do you kill it?
Not everybody can get on a plane and fly. Not everyone can afford to get on a plane and fly.
Xavier
We need
Becerra,
to have
Democrat.
the fastest modes and safest modes of transportation available to all of our people. High-speed rail is one of those ways, and it's a proven success. Japan, Europe, China.
How many more billions are you willing to spend?
I'm only willing to spend the money it takes to build it. I'm not willing to spend the money.
Don't you wish our proposals went that way?
Right.
What's it cost? What it costs to build it?
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to spend a dime more than it actually costs to build it. I'll tell you that.
That bureaucracy and legal wrangling has cost us. I go back to what I said before, what I've experienced as a CEO of a public enterprise.
You get the feeling that the interviewer here, what's her name? Go back to full screen real quick, Jake. Can't see it. But you get the feeling that as she's looking at these people giving their answers, that she's just like in her head going, you are so full of shit.
Yeah.
You sit people down at the beginning. The difficulty with high-speed rail is that we said what we wanted to do. We wanted to go from point A to point Z, essentially Southern California to Northern California. So we launched. We didn't talk to the folks at point D and point Z, L and point K, and guess what? They ended up suing us because they say, hey, that's not the plan that we agreed to. You get everybody down, sit down at the very beginning.
But do you think now you can fix it? Do you think now you can get it done during your term as governor?
I think we can fix it, yes, because the difficulty is all the interference and the interruption between the points. We got to grease the skids. We got to get rid of all the friction, all the money cost that's making it difficult to construct.
We can do it if we just get rid of the money costs and the friction. If we can just not have any friction in this project and not have any money costs, then we can do it. It's simple.
Is JetBlue still around? Is that a thing?
It's an airline, right?
Yeah, it was.
I don't know if they're still around.
How much is a flight if you do a little shopping from San Francisco to LA?
A couple $100. Huh?
250 maybe.
But if we just got rid of the friction in the air and the costs, then it would be free.
We will build because we have to build. Look,
that's a great reasoning.
Is there something that the Japanese did, the Europeans did, the Chinese did that we can't do? No. It's just that they didn't probably have to deal with the multiplicity of lawsuits that have delayed this. People are
they didn't have the friction
using
and
the
the
regulations as their entree to sue and to delay
And
or
so
to
how
get
do
what
you
they
as
want.
governor stop that?
Well, first, as I said, if I'm sitting you down at the beginning, I'm giving you a chance to tell me what your problem
But
is.
you're not at the beginning. You're coming in the middle.
Well,
$14 billion in the middle.
It'll be for me the beginning.
Okay.
And we go from where we are, and I say, okay, this is where we are. I can't undo a lawsuit necessarily, but I can say, hey, if you're going to sue, if that's the course of action you're going to take, and I'm willing to give you a seat at the table now because we want to launch. And if you really want to launch and you're not just trying to stop it, then you should sit at the table. If you're not willing to sit at the table, then I'm going to use every resource I have to fight your lawsuit because I got to get rid of that lawsuit because I got to build a train. And so we're going to get it done, but we're going to remove all the friction, all the extra cost that's kept us from going from point A to point C.
It's scary when you hear someone in the government say that, because he says he'll use every resource at his disposal.
Yeah.
He has the resource of violence as an option.
Yeah.
He could lock you in a cage also.
Do it.
Do you walk away or do you push through?
This is Villa Ragosa.
Come on, we
Yeah.
spent $14 billion.
Democrat.
Urban rail program in Los Angeles was at a standstill because we said we couldn't build in pockets with methane gas. I and the federal government actually prohibited money for a subway. I said, let's bring the experts. Let's bring world experts from all over the world to determine if you can build in methane gas pockets. The experts came back and they said yes. And I was able to convince the author, Henry Waxman, who had done legislation saying you can't build, no federal money for those, to change his position. And I think that's what you do here. You look at how did we get to these $14 billion spent without much to show for it? I'll tell you. California Environmental Quality Act, permitting, making decisions that weren't evidence-based. That's what happened. So we're going to review the whole thing. We're going to look at how we find efficiencies. I definitely believe this should be a public-private partnership, not just the state, but the private sector doing this like they do in every other country in the world. All the high-speed rail that you just mentioned were mostly done with public-private partnerships, okay? So I'm going to...
There's an ex-porn star who, just for shits and giggles, studied and passed the bar in California.
Uh-huh.
And that's why, like, are you going into law? Like, no, I just wanted to show people that I could pass the bar. Unlike Villa Ragosa, who took the bar 5 times, failed every time, and changed his real name's Tony Villar, and he changed his name to Antonio Villa Ragosa. He goes like, well, now like the Latinx community will vote me just based on my name. That's who that guy is.
Jesus. Every Democratic candidate for governor, their solution to the problem is like this glossing over of all of the actual struggle to do it. They won't address the fact that we're serving communities that aren't dense enough to make it affordable, that we're going through people's land that don't want to give up their land, that it's way more expensive to go through these mountains and things than it was before, that nobody actually wants this thing.
Mm-hmm.
They all just have to gloss over that, and the corruption.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, most of the money that was wasted, all of the money that was spent on this went into someone's pocket.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And those people didn't lay any track.
Yes.
Right? It's all just been
Your simple math.
absorbed. Yeah.
How do you know someone stole the money? I'm like, well, show me what's been built so far.
Right.
There's your answer.
All right. Let's see. Let's skip forward here. This is Betty Yee.
And we don't appear to be much closer to the end goal. Do you continue or do you cut bait and move on?
I believe we have to continue. The leg that we are...
Shocker. You said Asians were going to fix this.
Come on, Jake.
She looks Filipino.
Complete and finish is the backbone of the system. So if you wanted to start in San Francisco and go all the way down to Southern California, this is the piece that has to be completed to essentially support the rest of the system. I will.
It's like one of those logic tests that people fail because they're missing some like obvious kind of key thing, but 90% of people that take the test miss it. Or it's like that the gorilla walking
That's
through.
what I was just thinking of.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you're just fixated on the basketball bouncing, and that's the only thing that matters. But you fail to take a look at what's actually happening.
Say, having gone to the Central Valley and seeing all the assets that have been put in place for that particular segment, the amount of pride and the palpability of the excitement about new housing and economic opportunities in that region is through the roof. So I do think we have to finish it. We're going to rein in costs, but the way that I want to rein in costs is I want to look for private investment in this system. Doesn't mean the state gives up control.
If any one of these Democratic candidates said the way that I want to rein in costs is by eliminating the corruption, I would listen. But they cannot admit that because it's all this big grift that each one of them is just trying to get in on.
Yeah.
Get their friends in on.
Yep.
Except for the 2 Republican candidates.
And she's the first one to bring up private investment, which is what they were supposed to have before they even started this project. So we almost have an admission.
Even private investment.
Yeah.
Like, that's a grift too.
Yeah.
Like they're
for sure.
Yeah, they're getting into it because there's going to be a return. The return
They're
isn't
not donating money to high-speed rail.
correct, and they're not investing in a business.
Yeah.
They're investing in something that people's tax dollars are going to be stolen from them and given back to these private companies.
Yes.
Because there's no way that you could have a high-speed rail that actually paid for itself in California, right? Just like the rail that we have here, the SMART train.
Yeah.
If it actually paid for itself, it would cost you $100 every time you rode it.
We're still going to have control over safety regulations and just the operations, but we need capital for this project. And the federal government has decided, no, they don't want to be funding any of this project. Cap and trade, $1 billion a year is not going to go very far. The private investment, so that we can actually look at what are we going to build around these corridors that are going to be touched by this system. And I think that's a revenue generator, and that's a public-private partnership that I believe is really something that can work and can give us the additional tools of capital, but also at the same time begin to really have these communities think about what's possible in terms of new economic opportunities. People always talk about, and I've not yet gone to Japan, but they come back and say, the system works so great there. Well, I actually happened to take a look at the system in Japan, public-private. So they develop a lot of activity, housing and businesses around the corridors. Everything is convenient. The system has to be convenient. It's got to be clean. It's got to be safe. It's got to be reliable. And if you have economic activity around where people are getting on, off, and along the way, we can actually make the system sustainable.
High-speed rail.
Okay.
The problem with that line of thinking there is that you're saying we'll build the rail and then we'll add the economic activity to it.
Like a city.
What it should be.
Which are already there.
Right.
Saying we don't need a regular speed choo-choo to go through it to have that city there. It's already there. Stop fucking with everything.
The rail should serve the cities, not the other way around.
Yes.
You're building cities in order to make the rail affordable.
It's all the system. Ted K called all this shit.
Support it.
We've spent $14 billion. Do we continue spending or do we walk away?
I think we've invested enough that we're not ready
Tony
to
Thurman.
walk away. There's no question that there have been delays.
There you go. Sunken cost fallacy. We've gone this far. We got to see it all the way through.
Much of that probably just trying to assemble all the various pieces of land that would go into high-speed rail. I see it moving forward with more success, and I think we have to double down on high-speed rail. Now, to a point, nothing is without limit. We have to show the people of California that their dollars are going to be well spent. But I believe that California knows how to can do innovation. And we have to show that we can provide high-speed rail, that this will be a tremendous benefit to the people of California.
Why do you think we haven't been able to do it thus far?
Largely because of the time it's taken to assemble the properties. They're under different ownership.
But $14 billion trying to assemble properties? I mean, that's a lot.
It's a long process. It's a litigious process, getting control of other properties. And so there are probably some unexpected bumps. And people have a right to be critical. Like I said, I support it, but to a point. If we don't begin to see results, we're not going to support it forever. And I think
I'm going to go over to my neighbors after this and say, I'd like to assemble your backyard for the new half pipe I want to put in for my kid.
For $14 billion, it's yours. So going back to what we started talking about originally about everyone's reality, there's truth in the universe, but it's very hard to see what it is, right? And so Californians have been fed this idea of reality that doesn't actually align with what's true. And every one of these candidates for governor that are Democrats just continue to reinforce that.
Yes.
That we need high-speed rail. Everybody wants high-speed rail.
It's even possible.
It's possible to do it. We can afford to do it. And they just are feeding people this false reality.
They're pissing on your head.
I'm telling you it's raining. Exactly. And I don't know. Seems like people are more keyed in than they used to be. I meant to bring up the poly market.
Oh, nice.
Of who's winning. It seems to me, just to finish that thought, that people are kind of becoming more and more awake, like privy to what's actually happening.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The way I think of it, realistic in their thinking, believing their own eyes and ears more.
It seems that way to me.
Yes, I agree with that.
And maybe it's just the perspective that we have on the world. Like we see right through all this bullshit.
We force everyone around us to listen to our diatribes.
Dead dogs. All right, let me see here. Flip back to that screen, Jake. All right, let me see here. All right, poly market. Okay. Who will advance from the California governor primary? So this is different than who's going to win.
Yes.
But this is interesting because Steve Hilton has an 80% chance, according to Polymarket.
Mm-hmm.
Followed by Tom Steyer, the billionaire who's spending money on 30-second YouTube commercials. Xavier Becerra, Chad Bianco at 12%, ahead of Katie Porter at 11%. So according to this poll, it seems like people are not buying what the Democrats are selling, which is just like a polished turd of what they've been giving us this whole time.
Yeah.
With Gavin Newsom and Jerry Brown and everyone before him. So God willing, people's reality is shifting and seeing the truth behind what they're being told.
I'm about to go in. Then he said, I'm here with my friends. He got to thinking, and that's when he said, where them girls at, girls at? Where them girls at, girls at? Where them girls at, girls at? So go get down, we can all be free. Yo, PB, who's People Bryson? 2 years